Welcome students of class 8 to your grammar classroom, and today I'm going to cover the concept of conjunctions. I know we have already started this in our Teams sessions, and we've already completed a part of it, a lot of the concept in from your grammatry. But then there are a few things that I would like to let you know regarding this concept. So basically what we learned in our Teams session is that conjunctions are that part of speech, one amongst the 8 parts of speech that join sentences, phrases, clauses and words. Okay, so a conjunction, as the name suggests, conjoint. Alright, it joins sentences which are in fact made clauses, and phrases, all right, which doesn't make so much of sense, and clauses, dependent or independent clauses, and definitely words. Okay, so a conjunction is used for this purpose. So what do they actually achieve? Now, using a conjunction would definitely make your sentence compact. Now, when your sentence is compact, which means that it is a short and contracted way of saying a longer sentence. I'll just give you an example from Wren and Martin right now. So, if I say, Balu and Vittal are good players, it is just a short way of saying that Balu is a good bowler and Vittal is a good bowler. So we are avoiding the repetition of using these many words. So that is why, to make it more compact and understandable, we use a conjunction, that is and. So we say Balu and Vittal are good players. Similarly, if we say the man is poor but honest, it is a contracted, okay? It is a contracted or a concise way of saying the man is poor but he is honest. So we are avoiding he is because it gives the same idea like the man is, okay? So we actually mean the man himself. So we can just use in a contracted manner, the man is poor but honest. So conjunctions, they enable you to say the longer sentence in a short and contracted way by making it compact. So now we move on to how do we differentiate conjunctions from the other parts of speech, from the other kinds of parts of speech. So it is very different from relative pronouns. You always make the mistake of using conjunctions in place of relative pronouns when you are asked to join sentences with them. Relative pronouns, you have to understand, pronouns are a substitute of the noun. And relative pronouns, they are used for reference. When you have to refer to the subject in the same sentence, that is your relative pronoun. That is not just a mere word which is joining the sentence. Yes, it is used to join, but the function of it is different. For example, that, who, which, etc. These are relative pronouns. That definitely used as a conjunction, but the function in the sentence is different. So you have to understand the function and you identify. It is also different from that of a relative adverb, which talks about the time, the place. And a relative adverb is a modifier. It is modifying the verb. It might or might not be placed in order to join clauses. Okay, the function might be different. The placement might be the same, but the function might be different. You have to differentiate it. Okay. The third kind is prepositions. You cannot mix them up with prepositions. Yes, prepositions with and of, they have a distinctive outlook, but until is quite the same. So it is quite different from that of prepositions. So until is a subordinating conjunction. Also, it is used as that. But prepositions, they show the relation with a noun or a pronoun. But conjunctions, they simply join. I'm going to give you examples in order to make you understand better. So, for example, if I have to give an example of relative pronoun, I'll give, this is the house that Jack built. That Jack built. Alright. So here, the relative pronoun that, it refers to the house. It is referring to a subject which was subject in order to avoid the repetition of the noun to be placed again. Okay. So it is substituting the use of a noun with a relative pronoun. The house that Jack built. So we are talking about the house in the sentence twice. So that is why we are using that as a relative pronoun. And it is also joining two parts of the sentence. Okay. Now, in another sentence, if I have to give an example of relative adverb, I would say, this is the place where he is buried. This is the place where the man is buried. So here, the relative adverb where, it modifies the verb. Was buried is where. It is the word where, the adverb of place where is modifying the verb was buried. Okay. And obviously it is joining two sentences. So it serves, it looks like it's a conjunction, but it's a relative adverb. And I'll give another example of a conjunction. Take this and give that. These are from Wren and Martin, obviously the examples. Take this and give that. And over here, that over here, these are conjunctions. Okay. So, they merely join. They don't do any other work. But those words, they would join and do some other function and serve or have another function. They join and have another function. They join, have another function. Prepositions also, they join, they have, they stay out there and they have another function. In case of the preposition, it is only going to refer. It is only going to govern a noun or a pronoun. It won't join. Alright. But conjunctions, until will join. A preposition until will not join. It will only govern the noun. Alright. So these are the basic differences between conjunctions and other parts of speech. Now, I would just clarify one thing that I had already said in the Teams classes. We talked about these sort of conjunctions, provided that, as though, so that, as if, as soon as being, they are not correlative. While correlative are conjunctions that are separated by words. They work in pairs, they come in pairs, but they are definitely separated by words. But conjunctions that come together, okay, and are not separated by words, that will appear together in the sentence, are called compound conjunctions. Alright? Compound conjunctions are these. Provided that, as though, so that, as if, as soon as, even though, so on and so forth. Okay? There are many other kinds of conjunctions that do this kind of a work. So those are compound conjunctions. Alright, now after this, I'm going to just move on to the three types of conjunctions that we have already learned. The first one that we have learned is coordinating conjunction. We've also learned about the subordinating conjunction, and these two are the main ones, alright, you can see out here. And the third one is the correlative conjunction. These are the three common ones that we know about, that are usually talked about. Now the fourth kind we have learned in our team sessions. It's the conjunctive adverb. Okay, there are conjunctions that act as adverbs. Okay, conjunctive adverbs. We've already discussed them. Now I would like to talk more about the coordinating conjunction. So we've got to know about what those are, what the coordinating conjunctions are. I'm not going to go over there. Alright, I'll just talk about the four types of coordinating conjunction that come along. For example, the first kind, you have cumulative or copulative, which means that they simply add two words together. For example, add. Okay, and. So those, the word and, the conjunction and, is a cumulative or a copulative conjunction. The second kind that you have is the adversative. By the word adversative, we definitely mean contrast. So, but is a coordinating conjunction of which is adversative. The third kind is disjunctive or alternative. Obviously, it means choice. So, the conjunction or would be choice, would be disjunctive. The last one, but not the least, is elative, which means to infer, which is used for inference. For example, this happened for the reason of this. So that is elative. I'll give you 4 examples so you may understand it a bit better. So for copulative or cumulative, it adds one statement to another. We carved not a line and we raised not a stone. It is joining one statement to another. We carved not a line and we raised not a stone. This is from Wren and Martin. Okay, so that is adding one statement to another. Adversative is but. It shows some contrast. He is slow but he is sure. I was annoyed, still I kept quiet. It has to show some kind of contrast, some difference. I would come only that I am engaged. He was all right, only he fatigued. So only, still, but, it doesn't matter which conjunction you use, but the meaning has to be given correctly, which is contrast. Alright, so, but these are the ones that that generally are used to show the contrast, but, only, still, okay. Now the third is disjunctive or alternative, expressing a choice. So we would use she must weep or she will fall ill. Either he is mad or he fakes madness. Neither a borrower nor a lender be. So either or, neither nor, which also act as correlatives, can come under coordinating conjunction, showing disjunctive, being disjunctive or being an alternative. They toil not, neither do they spin. Walk quickly, or else you will not overtake him. So these are some of the examples for disjunctive or alternative coordinating conjunction. The last one is elative or inference. Inference meaning you understand something, you infer something, you gain knowledge about something. So an example of this elative would be something certainly fell ill, for I heard a splash. For the person heard a splash as something certainly fell in. Okay, usually for is used for this as an example for this elative coordinating conjunction. All precautions must have been neglected, for the plague spread rapidly. Sounds like a cause or reason, but not so. Okay. It sounds like a subordinating, but not so. It's just inference. You're inferring that because of this something that happened. This happened because of that. Okay. So the word for is used for as a coordinating conjunction, which is elative. Alright. Now there are some words that overlap. Now what do I mean by this? Some words overlap, which means that they can be used as preposition or also as a conjunction. Okay, so for example, I give you these. Stay till Monday. This is a preposition. But we shall stay here till you return. 2 ideas are presented, so it's a conjunction. Remember, to use a conjunction or to identify a conjunction, you have to see if 2 ideas have been presented in that sentence, or 2 sentences or 2 kinds of clauses have been presented in that sentence. Stay till Monday, it is just focusing on Monday. Alright, till Monday. It is governing the noun. So that is why it's a preposition. But we shall stay here till you return, it's a conjunction. Similarly, if I say, I have not met him since Monday. We shall go since you desire it. He stood before the painting, governing the noun. Look is a sentence, is a proper sentence. Before you leap. Okay, look before you leap. Before over here is the conjunction. Alright, so these by this, that is what I mean, that these words may overlap, that it can be used as a preposition or a conjunction, but we have to understand the difference. So, if we have to, we've already done the coordinating conjunction. For subordinating, let us follow grammar tree for the types of subordinating conjunction. I'll just mention them to you. We've learned about time, we've learned about cause or reason, we've learned about purpose, okay, result or consequence, then concession. There is one which says about condition. A condition is given. Rama will go if Hari goes, that's a condition. Okay, and comparison. The word than, comparison. He is stronger than Rustam. Okay, which means he is stronger. Rustam is not so strong. He is stronger than Rustam. Than is your comparison. It expresses comparison. That is also subordinate. Now students, let us check out some uses of the conjunctions. Okay, uses of some of the conjunctions. Now the very first one that we have is since. Now since is usually means from and after the time when. Whenever a time has been referred to, after the time, from the time onwards, since is used. Okay. For example, I'll give you this. Many things have happened since I left school. Since I left school, which is when the time is mentioned. So many things have happened. So since is being used in that place. So if in this case, if you have to put since, then it should precede by a present perfect verb and be followed by a simple past verb. Okay, by a present perfect tense, alright, and a simple past tense. See, many things have happened. It has to have a present perfect if since is used in this case and a simple past after it. Since I left school. Okay. Now, another way that since is used, seeing that inasmuch. Since you wish it, it shall be done. Seeing that means you seeing seeing something, a condition has been shown. Since you wish it, since this is this, okay, it shall be done. This has to be done. Inasmuch, it will be done. Okay, so that is the purpose of using since. Now the next conjunction that we have taken out here is or. It is used as an alternative. For example, your purse or your life, a robber might say this. You must work or starve. Alternative name or a synonym. Okay, so the violin or the cello has become the leading instrument of the modern orchestra. Alright. Or it can be used as otherwise. We must hasten or the night will overtake us. Okay. Also it is used as an equivalent if you have to express an equivalent. So the troops were not wanting in strength or courage, but they were badly fed. Okay. So equivalent to and. Okay. You have to understand this. Now these are the uses. The next one is if. If is used when you have to show something that is on the condition. On the condition. If he is there, I shall see him. This is on the condition. Admitting that, in case of admitting something, if I am blunt, I am least honest. If I am poor, yet I am honest. Okay. Whether, in case of whether, I asked him if he would help me. It's like whether he would help me, if he would help me, or whenever. If I feel any doubt, I inquire. It is also used in case of a time, whenever. It is also used to express a wish or a surprise. If I only knew, if I were a bird. Okay, so these are the uses of if. Very strong conjunctions. The next case, let's see. This, we have used that. It is used to express a reason or a cause. Okay, no, he was annoyed that he was contradicted. He was disagreed to. He was annoyed that he was disagreed to. So that is a reason or a cause. So then we have a purpose. Okay, to express a purpose. We sow that we may reap. He kept quiet that the dispute might cease. Dispute might stop. Okay, so that is a purpose. Expressing the purpose. And the last one is the consequence or the result. I am so tired that I cannot go on. That is used as a consequence. He was so tired that he could scarcely stand. Okay. So that is the use of the conjunction that. Then we have than, which is basically used as the comparative degree and nothing else. Wisdom is better than rubies. I see you often than I see him. Oftener than I see him. I am better acquainted with the country than you are. Okay, so that is used in the comparative degree. Now there is another conjunction which is very rare in modern English, which is lest. It is a subordinating conjunction. Now we don't use it that much. It is used for a negative purpose. In place of lest, more, should is used, okay, in modern English. But then also I'm going to give you an example of this as we go on. We do read books that contain this word or this conjunction. Do not be idle lest you come to want. He fled lest he should be caught. I was alarmed lest we should be wrecked. Lest meaning it's a negative purpose. Okay, there is a purpose but it is negative. Okay. And it is equivalent to the conjunctions in order that. Okay, so in order that, do not be idle, in order that you come to desire, in order that you come to want. Okay, so the modern construction is should. Okay, I feared lest I might anger you. Okay, now the next one that we have, while. While is used to express during that time as long as. For example, while he was sleeping, an enemy sowed tares. While there is life, there is hope. So it is showing during the duration of the time, during the time as long as, or as long as the activity had gone on, this had happened. Another activity, it took place. Okay. Or at the same time. The girls sang while the boys played at the same time. While he found fault, he also praised. This was also done, that was also done together. And it is also shown, used when we want to mean whereas. While I have no money to spend, you have nothing to spend on. While this is true of some, it is not true of all. Okay, whereas. And the next conjunction that we have is only. It will express, it is only expressed as except that. If we have to show except that, except something, we use the conjunction only. A very pretty woman, only she squints a little. Squinting is when you close your eyes a bit. The day is pleasant, only rather cold. He does well, only that he is nervous at the start. Okay, so only is used for except that, but it were not, were it not. Okay, the next one is except. It is not in use now. In place of the conjunction except, unless is used in modern English. Okay, except you repent, you shall die, or you shall perish. Except a man be born again, he cannot go to heaven. Okay, so unless he admits the truth, he will plead guilty. Except he pleads the truth, he accepts the truth, he pleads guilty. Okay, so except. The next conjunction is without. Without is also not used nowadays unless is used. But if it were in use, it would be like, I shall not go without you. Without you do. I shall not go without you do, unless you do, which simply means I shall not go unless you do. Okay, and the last but not the least, we have because, for, since. Now since and this since is used differently. This is used for cause and reason. Okay, and this is used to show some sort of a time. Okay, a time lapse. Now, because is the closest casual conjunction. These all of these are casual conjunctions, all three of these. Because is the closest one to be used. For is the weakest one. It shows when you express using the conjunction for, it is the weakest. The expression is the weakest. And since is like between the two. You know, it's in the middle. Okay, not so close, not so weak. So since it shows. Alright, now I don't have to give examples for these because these are very common and we've already known about them. So here we end our concept of uses of some conjunctions. Alright, so I know definitely we have these doubts that have arisen, or many of the concepts regarding conjunctions have been made clear at this moment. So we are going to discuss further conjunctions if doubts arise in our team session. Thank you.